Hello and welcome to lesson 9 grammar. For this lesson I will try to deep dive into each grammar that we have. So first is we have here noun ga arimasu, wakarimasu, suki desu, kirai desu, jouzu desu, and heta desu. As you can see here, the object of the transitive verb is marked with o, as if you remember, o, right? Wo, but o. However, objects of verbs arimasu and wakarimasu are marked with ga. Only for these two. Arimasu and wakarimasu are marked with ga instead of o, even though they are verbs. Okay. Also, such adjectives such as suki desu, kirai desu, jouzu desu, and heta desu require objects. They require something. You can't just say I like. You have to say I like something, okay? And these are marked with ga as well. So the verbs and adjectives whose objects are marked with ga are those that describe preference, ability, possession, and the like. For example, here we have 私はイタリア料理が好きです。イタリア料理が好きです。I like Italian food. イタリア料理 is the noun, and が is the marker, and 好きです is like. Okay? We also have 私は日本語がわかります。わかります means to understand. So, Japanese が understand. 日本語がわかります。I understand Japanese. You also have 私は車があります。あります means to have or to exist. Okay? So I have a car. Alright, let's go ahead and try to explain it further. First off, we have noun があります。あります means to have. It means I have something. Okay? So, 私は I 車 car があります。I marks the topic. So we're talking about me. I'm talking about myself. 車 car が marks this as the object of あります means have. So I have a car. It doesn't necessarily have to be I, okay? The topic can be anybody or anything. For example, say, haha. If you remember, haha means mother. Haha wa 車があります。母は車があります which means my mom は again marks the topic of the sentence, which is this one. Okay? 車 car があります have. My mom has a car. So that is あります arimas means to have, and あります is always marked with the object of あります is always marked with が okay. The object of あります is always marked with が that is あります and we have another verb that we have there. Second one is noun がわかります わかります means understand. For example, 日本語がわかります日本語がわかります You can say this, or you can also clarify the topic that we're talking about you. So you say 私は日本語 がわかります。Okay. 私は日本語がわかります。You can say 日本語がわかります。That is already understandable as you're talking about yourself. Okay. 日本語 means Japanese. わかります means understand, which means this is I understand Japanese. 私 I は topic. Okay, it explains that you are being clear that you are talking about me. You're talking about yourself. Okay, again, Nihongo. This is the noun here. Ga marks the noun, the object of wakarimasu means understand. Again, the topic doesn't have to be you, it can be someone else. For example, you're talking about sensei. Sensei wa, okay, sensei wa Nihongo ga wakarimasu. So the difference here is the topic is sensei, teacher. Okay, again, with wa, we are being clear that we are talking about the teacher. Again, Nihongo ga wakarimasu. I understand. The teacher or my teacher understands Japanese. Again, wakarimasu, object, is always marked with ga. Okay, it's always marked with ga, the same way as arimasu. Okay, let's review. We had noun ga arimasu, which means to have, and we have noun ga wakarimasu, which means understand. Next, we have adjectives. So the verbs are arimasu and wakarimasu. The adjectives are 好きです、嫌いです、上手です、and 下手です。Okay? 好きです means to like. 嫌いです means dislike. 上手 means be good at. 下手 means poor at. Okay? So, again, as I read earlier in the slides, right? These adjectives need an object. They need an object. Need an object. Okay? Which means that this object is marked with ga as well. For example, you say, I like sushi. 私は寿司が好きです。Again, 私 topic. Talking about yourself. Wa marks the topic. Sushi is the noun object. Ga marks the object of this adjective. 好き like. So I sushi like, which means transform it to I like sushi. So that is 好きです. Next up we have 嫌いです. Okay. Let's say dislike. You dislike sushi. I dislike sushi. So you say 私は寿司が嫌いです. I dislike sushi. Again, I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive. Again, watashi here is a topic. Why is it a topic? Because it's marked with the wa. Okay. Sushi is the noun object. Ga marks the object of this adjective. So, I sushi dislike becomes I dislike sushi. Okay? So, these adjectives always have an object, and that object is always marked with ga, right? Okay. Now we go to 上手 desu and 下手 desu. Okay, 上手 desu means to be good at. So you can say 私は英語. 英語 means English. 英語が上手です. Now if you see here, 上, it's a big G and the yo, a small yo. Okay, 上手. Just remember that 上 is always a pair of G and yo that is small. Okay, 私は英語が上手です. 私 topic marked by wa, which is why this is the topic, and then 英語 is the object. Ga marks the object of 上手です. Okay, so I, English, good at. I am good at English. 上手です. What if you are not good at English, but instead you are poor at English? You would say 私は英語が下手です. Topic marks the topic. Noun object. Ga is the marker of the object, and this is the adjective. I, English, poor at, becomes I am poor at English. So those are あります、わかります、好きです、嫌いです、上手です、and 下手です. Okay, again, they have an object, and this object is a noun, and this object is marked with ga, and then you add あります for have, わかります for understand, 好きです for like, 嫌いです for dislike, 上手です for good at, and 下手です for poor at. So that is our first grammar of this lesson. Now we move on to our next grammar. Here we have どんな noun. If you remember in the previous lesson, we had noun 1 wa どんな, noun 2 desu ka, right? So other than that usage that we learned in lesson 8, どんな is also used to ask the listener to name one from the group, which the noun after どんな denotes. Okay? For example, どんなスポーツが好きですか? What kind of sports do you like? サッカーが好きです. Any type of sport. Okay, so you just name one of the items or one noun that belongs in the category that is asked with どんな. Okay, let's go in with the explanations here. Let me try to explain it as best as I could. Okay, どんな noun. If you remember in the previous lesson, I noted there that どんな is always followed by a noun. Okay, so similar to that, this one, どんな noun, どんな is also followed by noun. So basically, we are asking for the listener to name one that belongs to this category. Okay, again, this is the category. Category or group. For example, we have どんなスポーツが好きですか? If you see here, here's the noun object and the ga and the adjective from the previous grammar point, right? But for this one, we are focusing on どんな. So this is the noun that we are talking about, and スポーツ is the category or the group. Okay, category. Now, what type of sports are there, and what type of sports are you good at? So which sport are you good at? For example, you say I'm good at basketball, or I like basketball. So you say バスケットボールが好きです. 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 バスケットボールが好 ケットボール。バスケットボールが好きです。Okay? You say, I like basketball. This is again the noun object, ga, and adjective that we had in the previous grammar point. Okay? バスケットボールが好きです。You can also say, バレーボールが好きです。Okay? Volleyball が好きです。So that is how you answer this question. Someone asks, どんな何々、どんな something が好きですか or どんな something が嫌いですか or どんな something が上手ですか or どんな something が下手ですか You answer it with the previous grammar that we have. Noun が好きです。Noun が嫌いです。Noun が上手です。Noun が下手です。Okay, so that is どんな。どんな is basically you're just like, what kind of this thing do you like? Do you not like? Are you good at? Are you bad at? Okay, so that is どんな。Now, continuing with our lesson here, we have now more adverbs. Okay, these are the adverbs that are put before verbs when they modify them. Okay, so for the summary here, we see here high degree from high to low, and there's the adverb plus affirmative combination, and there's the adverb plus negative combination. So first here we have よくわかります。よくわかります。よくわかります means I understand very well, and then lower than that a little bit is だいたいわかります。I mostly understand. 少しわかります。I understand a little bit. Now we're going to the low bit. あまり, if you remember from our previous lesson, あまり is always paired with a negative adjective or a verb, okay? あまりありません. I don't have much. 全然ありません. Oh, あまりわかりません. I'm sorry. あまりわかりません. I don't understand much. 全然わかりません. I don't understand at all. Okay? We also have the degree or the amount. Okay, from large to small. Adverb plus affirmative, we are going to for the large one, for the large amount. たくさんあります. I have a lot or there is a lot. 少しあります. There is a little bit. Now go to small. あまり, again, always paired with a negative. あまりありません. There isn't much. And 全然ありません. There isn't any at all. For example, here we have 英語がよくわかります. 英語 is the noun object of わかります, right? If you remember, noun がわかります. But this time we have an adverb inserted before わかります, which is よく. よく means very well. So 英語がよくわかります. We also have 英語が少しわかります. Next is we have 英語があまりわかりません. I don't understand English so well. We also have お金がたくさんあります. I have a lot of money. And お金が全然ありません. Now take note here that 少し and 全然 can also modify not just verbs but also adjectives. Okay? ここは少し寒いです. 少し means a little bit. 寒い means cold. Combine them both, it means a little cold. Okay? We also have あの映画は全然面白くないです. 全然 not at all. 面白くない not interesting. So 全然面白くない means not interesting at all. Now let's chop it up a little bit. going back to the first part, okay, from the degree. All right. So, according to degree first, we have よく、大体、少し、あまり, and 全然. よく means very well. 大体 means mostly. 少し means a little. あまり means not very. And 全然 means not at all. So these are adverbs of degree that we can use with verbs. Okay? So for example, let's say 私は英語がわかります. Okay, that is what we had earlier, right? So this is noun object. Noun object. Ga is the marker for the noun object, and wakarimasu is the verb that needs the object. Okay, wakarimasu means to understand, right? So I understand English. Now, if we want to add a degree to how much you understand English, you say 私は英語, okay, 英語が, after ga, before wakarimasu, we add the adverb. So we say よくわかります. 私は英語がよくわかります. I understand English very well. Okay? 英語 means English. Ga is the marker for English, this is the noun object, right? Of wakarimasu. Yoku means very well, which is the adverb. Okay? Wakarimasu means understand or to understand. And this is the verb. Okay? So the adverb, note here, adverbs always go before the verb or adjective. So, 私は英語がよくわかります, which means I understand English very well. Let's say you mostly understand English. Okay? 私は英語がだいたいわかります. I understand English mostly. Okay, I mostly understand English. Again, translating from language to language doesn't always have to be word per word, but it is mostly contextual, and you have to adjust to the grammar rules of each language, right? So you don't say I. Okay, you don't say I is or am. I am English mostly understand. But you say I understand English mostly, or I mostly understand English. Okay? So that is yoku and daitai. You can also say 私は英語が少し. You can always say 私は英語が少しわかります. Now let's go to the negative form, right? 私は英語があまり. If you remember from the previous class and from what I mentioned earlier, amari is always paired with the negative form of the verb or the adjective. So, amari, what is the negative form of wakarimasu? Wakarimasen. Amari wakarimasen. Watashi wa eigo ga amari wakarimasen. Eigo ga amari wakarimasen. Again, noun, adverb, verb. Amari means not very. So this means I don't understand English very well. Okay, I don't understand English very well or very much. Amari wakarimasen. Now, same rule as amari, zenzen is always also paired with the negative form of the verb. Now, let's note it here that amari and zenzen are always paired with the negative form of the verb or adjective. Okay, so those are the adverbs that we have that we can use with degree, with the meaning of degree, from most to least. Okay, yoku, daitai, skoshi, amari, and zenzen. Skoshi is the same way as yoku and daitai. It just means a little bit less than mostly. Okay, so 私は英語が少しわかります。私は英語がよくわかります。私は英語が大体わかります。and 私は英語があまりわかりません。and 私は英語が全然わかりません。I don't understand English at all. So those are our degree adverbs. Now let's go to amount. We have たくさん、少し、あまり, and 全然. Now たくさん means a lot. 少し means a little, right? Same way as the degree one. あまり means not much. And 全然 means not at all. Nothing at all. For example, 私はお金があります. Okay? So that is our most base sentence, right? 私はお金があります, which means I have money. Again, topic, は marker of the topic, お金 is the object, が marks the object, and あります is the verb. Okay? I have money. Okay? So, to add adverbs of amount, like a lot and little or small amount, we have 私はお金. Okay, the same so far. が same so far. Now we add the adverb before we add the verb. So, for example, we have a lot, たくさんあります. たくさん means a lot, right? And あります means have or exist. Money o okane means money. So I have a lot of money. Money, a lot, have. I have a lot of money. Now a little bit less than たくさん, we have 私はお金が少しあります. Now, if you see there at the top, 少し means a little bit, so money, a little, have. I have a little bit of money. 私はお金が少しあります. Now let's go to the negatives, right? Amari and zenzen are always paired with the negatives. So, 私はお金があまりありま not あります but ありません. Okay? Money, not much, don't have. Okay? So I don't have a lot of money or I don't have much money. Now for the very least we have is 全然. 私はお金が全然ありません. I don't have money at all. Okay? 全然 means nothing at all, and ありません means don't have. So I, money, not at all, and not have, which means I don't have money at all. So those are our adverbs that are used for degree and amount. Now we had a note there earlier that 少し and 全然 can also be used to modify adjectives. Okay? Modify adjectives 少し and 全然. Okay? 少し and 全然 can modify adjectives. For example, ここは少し寒いです. 寒い means cold. This is the adjective. Adjective. 少し means a little. This is the adverb. Okay, so this adverb is used to modify this adjective. So koko wa, here, it's a little cold in here. It's a little cold here. 少し寒いです。ここは少し寒いです。Or you can say ここは全然寒くないです。If you remember from our previous lesson, this is the negative form of cold, so not cold. And zenzen means not at all, which means that ここは全然寒くないです means it is not cold here at all. Let's have a review for the na adjectives, okay? ここは少し静かです. If you remember, 静か means quiet. So it's a little bit quiet here. It's a little quiet here. How about it's not quiet here at all? ここは全然. This is an adjective. Shizuka is an adjective, which means we use it as it is. Shizuka without the na, because it follows des, right? And instead of des, we use ja arimasen. ここは全然静かじゃありません. Not quiet. 全然 not at all. So it's not quiet at all in here. Okay, so those are 少し and 全然. Next up, we have in our lesson for today is から, which means because. から connects two sentences to denote causal relationship, so cause and effect. So sentence 1 is the reason for sentence 2. Now we have 時間がありませんから新聞を読みません. Because から because I don't have time, I don't read the newspaper. 時間がありません I don't have time から because I don't have time 新聞を読みません I don't read the newspaper. You can also state sentence 2 first and then state the reason after it. For example, someone asks 毎朝新聞を読みますか? 毎朝 means every morning. 新聞を読みますか? Do you read the newspaper? Do you read the newspaper every morning? いいえ、読みません. Now you can see here, 読みません is the sentence 2 of the first sentence in number 12, right? いいえ、読みません. Sentence 1 comes, 時間がありませんから. Okay, let's go in with our blackboard here. All right. So sentence 1 から sentence 2. Now, okay. So let's say the reason is お金がありません. Okay, this is sentence 1. Sentence 2, 朝ごはんを食べません. Sentence 1, the reason is no money. I have no money. And 朝ごはんを食べません I don't eat breakfast. Now we connect these two. So sentence 1, お金がありませんから朝ごはんを食べません. Now this is sentence 1 here and sentence 2. This is the reason and this is the effect or the action. お金がありませんから朝ごはんを食べません. Because I don't have money, because I have no money or I don't have money, I don't eat breakfast. We can also switch it up. Okay, we can state sentence 2 first. Okay, we can say 朝ごはんを食べません. 朝ごはんを食べません. お金がありませんから. You see here? This is our sentence 2, and this is our sentence 1, and here is our because. Okay? So it can be written the other way around, but if you see here, sentence 2 is marked with a period. So it's like 2 separate sentences now. I don't eat breakfast because I don't have money. Now the first one is I don't have money, so I don't eat breakfast. Because I don't have money, I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast because I don't have money. Okay? So that is kara. It's basically the same as but, ga, right from lesson 8, but this time kara means because. But it's basically the same function of connecting 2 sentences to form a compound sentence, but this time it's a causal relationship, so cause and effect. Sentence 1 is the cause, sentence 2 is the effect. Alright, moving on to the next one, we have どうして. Alright, どうして. The interrogative どうして is used to ask a reason, and the answer needs kara from our previous grammar form, because, okay, at the end when you answer this type of question. For example, どうして朝新聞を読みませんか? Why don't you read the paper or the newspaper in the morning? The answer is because I don't have the time. 時間がありませんから. And then the question どうしてですか, which is a complete sentence as it is also used to ask the reason for what the other person has already said. 今日は早く帰ります. I'll go home early today. どうしてですか? Why? 子供の誕生日ですから. Because today is my child's birthday. Let's go on and try to explain this. どうして, right? どうして meaning why. Okay, why? どうして For example, we have here the one we had earlier. どうして朝ごはんを食べませんか? どうして朝ごはんを食べませんか? Now this is why 朝ごはん breakfast. O marks the object of the verb. Okay. 食べません is to eat. Ka means question mark. Okay. So why don't you eat breakfast? Oh, I'm sorry. I said to eat, but to not eat. This means to not eat because masen is the negative form. Why don't you eat breakfast? You answer お金がありませんから. お金がありませんから. お金 means money, marks the object of, が marks the object of ありません, which means not to not have. Okay? Why don't you eat breakfast? Because I don't have money. Because I don't have money. Now the other form here is どうしてですか? Which also means why, but it doesn't need like a sentence after it. So, for example, we have, this is when sentence 2 is stated first by the other person. So, for example, 朝ごはんを食べません. I don't eat breakfast. Breakfast, don't eat. どうしてですか? Why? お金がありませんから. 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 Okay, so that is どうして, which means why. Hopefully that explained it a little bit more than what we have in the slides. And that ends lesson 9. So I will see you on lesson 10. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot a comment on the post in Google Classroom or send me a message in Messenger. Ping me in the group chat so that I could address your question in the group chat so that other people can also benefit from it. Yeah, good luck in your exams and see you next time.